The film opens with a thrilling car chase through the streets of Miami. Detective Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett are driving at high speed, and it looks like every police in the city is after them. They are driving through the city like crazy, drifting on the beach even. It looks like Mike is showing off his driving skills, as he rotates the car and starts to drive it backwards, evading an approaching truck. They are heading towards the hospital. Once they get inside, Mike and Marcus head straight to the room where Marcus's daughter Megan is holding a baby boy. It's a touching moment, as Marcus proudly holds his grandson, named after him, for the first time. His wife Teresa and Megan's fiancé Reggie are also there, and they all celebrate the new arrival. It's a moment of joy in an otherwise dangerous and unpredictable world. Meanwhile, in a Mexican prison, inmate Isabella Ritas is muttering an incantation that draws a guard's attention. Isabel grabs a knife off the guard and stabs her consistently, with the other inmates jumping in and stabbing her until she stops breathing. The scene is violent and intense, setting the tone for what's to come. As the police van is taking Isabella Ritas somewhere, a guy comes in, ambushing the van that was carrying Isabella. The man shoots all the guards one by one, and he turns out to be her son, Armando, helping her escape from the prison. Back home, they plot revenge on behalf of her late husband Benito. Isabella hands Armando a USB, suggesting that it contains the location of caches containing millions of dollars that his father left for them. However, to get back the family honor, Armando must eliminate a list of people, suggesting Mike as the final target. Armando goes to the docks to pull out a crate filled with money, with the intent to work with other gangsters. But these gangsters are not expecting this much money. The leader of the other gang asks Armando to renegotiate out of greed, pulling a gun out at him. But Armando snatches his ninja knife and cuts the throats of most of the gangsters, finally shooting their boss from the chin through the head, saying he never renegotiates. He then orders the remaining men to step up. If they wish to work loyally, they will become his family. A crook named Lorenzo Rodriguez, known as Zuelo, joins him. Back in Miami, Mike and Marcus are celebrating at a bar with their fellow officers. They encounter a woman named Rita, Mike's ex, and she is now a lieutenant. She informs them that she is now heading AMO, which employs a younger team of officers. Marcus knows they're getting too old for all the crazy things they used to get into, and he urges Mike to settle down, though he disagrees. Mike just running backwards for fun when he sees a bike, and the rider taking out a gun, firing shots at him. He gets away as the officers rush up to help Mike. Mike is in critical condition, and Marcus prays to God that Mike be saved, with the promise that Marcus will never bring any more violence into the world. During this, Armando gets a call from his mother, and she lectures him, saying that Mike needs to be eliminated last, as she wants him to witness all of this. She then commands him to never disobey her orders again. Armando storms off in anger. As Rita and Howard order Amos Kelly, Dawn, and Rafe to investigate Mike's shooter, the tension and stakes continue to rise. Isabel and Armando proceed to target a judge, a forensic analyst, and a prosecutor, ruthlessly shooting them all in broad daylight. The brutality of their actions underscores the seriousness of the threat facing Mike. 6 months later, the film takes us to Megan and Reggie's wedding, a joyous occasion that highlights the power of family and the importance of love in the face of danger. However, it also serves as a reminder of the unfinished business between Mike and his shooter. Mike, now recovered from his injuries, delivers a speech at the wedding, expressing his gratitude for his family and his fellow officers who have stood by him. However, he can't help but feel a burning desire to bring his shooter to justice. He turns to Marcus for help, but Marcus denies him, fearful of the potential danger to others and insistent on his retirement. Frustrated and determined to find answers, Mike takes matters into his own hands, going to extreme lengths to extract information from a retired criminal named Manny the Butcher. He beats Manny's hands with a hammer until he gives up the name of Bucky Grassi, the man who could lead him to the owner of the motorcycle used in the shooting, and the only arms dealer who makes the bullets which hit Mike. With the help of Captain Howard, Mike reluctantly teams up with Ammo to find Grassi. The group heads to a warehouse where Grassi is scheduled to make a drop, and tensions run high as Mike clashes with Rafe, who is quick to challenge his authority. Kelly and Dom, however, respect Mike's status as a seasoned detective and work alongside him to unravel the mystery. As the group approaches the warehouse, Mike quickly realizes that Grassi is trying to rip off the other thugs involved in the transaction, as he notices the bag looks empty, leading to an ambush which will inevitably lead to Grassi's demise. A chaotic shootout ensues, and Mike fights off the other thugs to protect Gracie and obtain the crucial information he needs to track down his shooter. The sound of gunfire echoes through the abandoned warehouse, as Mike and his team face off against Gracie's accomplices. Mike quickly takes charge, ordering Kelly to provide cover fire while he rushes to grab Gracie and escape. But just as they make their way towards the exit, a guy comes in, and Mike's shot makes his gun swing wide, leading to an explosion throwing Gracie away, piercing him against a forklift. Mike is stunned by the situation, realizing that Gracie's loss will limit his leading information, leaving him clueless. Meanwhile, Marcus, in the middle of his retirement, receives a frantic call from a snitch named Carver Remy, who claims that Armando is following him and trying to murder him. Marcus immediately tries to contact Mike, but he ignores his calls, since he sees him as a quitter. Eventually, Mike picks up and joins Marcus, and they rush to find Remy. But just as they arrive at his hotel, Remy's lifeless body hits Marcus's car. Mike rushes into the hotel and engages in a brutal fight with Armando, managing to pull his mask off, but finding himself stunned when he sees Armando's face. He manages to get away, but the encounter leaves him shaken. Later, Mike meets with Captain Howard at a game, where they bond as Howard expresses his genuine concern and care for Mike. But as they leave, tragedy strikes when a bullet pierces Howard in the throat, executing him on the spot. Armando and Zuelo are behind it, but since Mike knows he is in plain sight, he pulls Howard away and stays behind a car, giving Armando no clear shots. Despite Mike's best efforts to revive him, Howard bleeds out, leaving Mike burdened with grief and a burning desire for revenge. Marcus officially decides to join forces with Mike to track Howard's murderer. They track down a shady broker named Picante Jenkins, hoping to gain a lead on their target. But when they enter Jenkins's motel room, they find him in a manic state, completely unresponsive to reason. Marcus tries to appeal to him on a personal level, that he can talk through his soul, but knocks him down 2 times, tagging Mike into action. Soon, when Mike and Jenkins are about to fight, he gets electrocuted by one of the team members of Ammo, and they taste Jenkins to the ground. After getting Jenkins's files, they recognize Zuelo and plan to track him next. The team heads to a club where they finally find Zuelo celebrating his birthday. They have him completely where they want him to be. But as they attempt to arrest him, he makes a run for it, and jumps down from the club's floor. The team fights off his goons. Mike jumps off after Zuelo, watching him escape in a motorcycle. They engage in a high-speed chase, until finally Mike shoots the tire of Zuelo's motorcycle, and he falls unconscious. They take him with them in the car. They see men in motorcycles following them and, distracted by them, Zuelo hits Marcus and runs off on a bike again. This time, both Marcus and Mike get on a bike together and go after Zuelo. Marcus finds a grenade in the bike and throws it at the bikes following them, but the skilled biker makes a wheelie, picking up the thrown grenade and launching it at Mike and Marcus, leading to a powerful blast. Marcus breaks his promise to God, using a machine gun to fight off the incoming thugs. Suddenly, a helicopter gets in their way, in which Armando is sitting, holding a bazooka. He fires a rocket but Mike and Marcus succeed in dodging it. Zuelo attempts to board the chopper ladder. Mike runs off and latches onto the ladder as well. But just as they reach the helicopter, Armando appears and shoots Zuelo off the ladder to get a better shot at Mike. He tells him, "Pasta el fuego," a nonsensical phrase that Mike realizes was a code he and Isabel came up with during their time undercover in the Aretas cartel. It was supposed to mean, together until the flame burns out. Mike concludes that Armando is his son, and that Isabel has been grooming him for revenge, since all the victims were in the same case against the Aretas family. Isabel, heavily involved in witchcraft, is known as La Bruja. As the helicopter flies off into the distance, Mike falls into the water below, barely managing to swim to safety. Back at headquarters, he furiously looks up files based on the phrase Armando said, finally realizing the truth about Isabel and Armando's relationship. With Marcus by his side, he vows to take down Isabel and bring her to justice for all the lives she has destroyed. The team arrives in Mexico City and is greeted by a tense and dangerous situation. Isabel has arranged for Mike to meet her at an old palace, but her mercenaries are waiting to ambush him and his team. Armando takes Marcus as a hostage and brings him in front of Mike, asking him to surrender. A blast occurs and Ammo is there for backup. The team quickly takes cover and engages in a heated gunfight, with Ammo officers demonstrating their skills in combat. Each officer succeeds in bringing down several mercenaries. Dawn proves her physical prowess by taking down several mercenaries with her hand-to-hand combat skills. As the firefight rages on, Marcus spots a sniper chopper hovering above them. Thinking on his feet, he manages to shoot it down, causing it to come crashing down onto the building and starting a devastating fire all over the place. Amid the chaos, Armando goes to confront Mike, but he decides to try and appeal to Armando as a person and reveal his true parentage to him. Isabel is asked if Mike's revelation is true, and she begrudgingly admits it. In a desperate attempt to finish Mike, Isabel tries to shoot him, but Armando steps in the way and takes the bullets in the shoulder. Rita, seeing the opportunity to save her teammate, shoots Isabel off the ledge, sending her falling to her demise in the flaming wreckage below. As the team tries to escape the burning building, Marcus almost falls off the ledge, but Armando helps Mike pull him up and get them out of there. Later on, the team celebrates their victory, and Rita is promoted to become the new captain. Mike and Marcus bond with baby Marcus, singing the "Bad Boy" song to him, showing how their bond has grown over the course of their journey together. Despite Armando's past crimes, Mike visits him in prison and offers him a chance to make up for his actions. Armando appears to be interested, hinting at a possible redemption arc for the character.